Hey guys, thought I could do it. I have to do a, combined video on this one. Um, Putting together 3 days, 3 questions. Um, I hope the quality is up to snuff from the mediocre videos I've done previous to this challenge, this my 30-day world challenge. All right, so we've got 3 questions. First question is: who dominates the political spheres of your world? How safe is it to travel in your world? And what mystical material is valued in your world? And in my fictional world of Roanarch, these 3 elements are combined together. So let's go with who dominates the political spheres of your world. In my world, essentially, there is no specific person or faction or political party that dominates the world, because my world of Roanarch is built around politics. There are 12 houses, and so I wanted to create a lot of space for player characters. So player characters could all belong to or be affiliated with or be loyal to one political house, and then the other 12 houses plus the 13th unnamed house would be their enemy. Or they could come from different houses, and therefore they would have obligations to their original house while also trying to remain loyal to each other as friends and allies and adventurers who go off into this dangerous world of Roanarch. And I also wanted to create politics so that characters would have obligations, they would have loyalties, and really a built-in method of establishing, hey, I don't have an adventure written up, but I've got a great idea around this house. So the house asks you to perform a particular function or feat or duty or something of that nature. But politically, the 12 houses are each represent a portion of society, and without that house's function in society, the rest of society will collapse. Now, while it is very possible for one house to usurp the control of other functions of society, because society is built around these 12 houses, if your one house tries to become the end all and be all, the other 11 houses become your enemy. So there's kind of a cold war building between all the houses. Now, it should be pretty evident the 12 houses are based around the 4 elements, the 4 seasons, and 4 periods of time. So there's the houses of earth, air, fire, and water, the houses of spring, summer, autumn, and winter, and houses of dawn, day, dusk, and night. They are not directly called those. Again, I wanted to leave space open for player characters. So, for example, the house of earth might be known as the house of silver, the house of dust, the house of stone, the house of the muddy foot, or something like that. And so while there are different houses, there are also factions within each house, all of them dedicated to one motion. The house of earth is has a two-pronged responsibility. The house of earth is responsible for maintaining security in the walled cities in this dangerous world. They are also miners. They are the ones who process mines, whether strip mining or mining down in the ground, and mining for ore and other materials needed, anything from gold and tin and copper and things like that to support this the material function of this world. The house of air is responsible for investigations, and they also live in very high altitudes, some of which those altitudes are actually floating lands and islands and such, and they are very much messengers in this world. The House of Fire is dedicated to conflict and combat. They are like the ultimate mercenary group that is extremely possible for members of the House of Fire to have conflict with each other, and they consider it honorable, even if they kill each other, because they are dedicated to a service, even though that service may be in opposition to each other. The House of Fire is also responsible for protecting people on the roads, collecting toll. Not collecting tolls, but protecting those who pass through tolls and protecting toll roads and those individuals that have to travel on trade routes. The House of Water, of course, is dedicated to traveling the numerous rivers, the ocean. They handle all river and water-based transit and commerce. The House of Dawn. The House of Dawn is the legal arm of society. They handle disputes. They are the lawyers. They are the diplomats. They are emissaries. They are the ones who handle land disputes. Excuse me. And they are also the ones that deal with hidden away conclaves and how to introduce them into and bring them into this new world of the 12 houses of Roanarch. The House of Day are they are protectors. They are knights. They're the ones who are assigned to travel the world and eliminate the larger exigent evils in this world. They are the public arm of Roanarch. They are the police force, of course, working hand in hand with the House of Air and House of Fire to root out evil. The House of Dusk are in many ways, they are the release valve of society. They are the prostitution arm. They are the drug arm. They are the partiers. They are the ones who engage in gambling and theater and many methods of the darker side of humanity, but a necessary one, and the ones who are the masters of the alcohol and powders and hallucinogens and things like that. They're also somewhat known as spies, and so therefore many people, although spying amongst themselves is not normally a warranted thing, they do that. The House of Night are the secret police. They are the ones who actually police the 12 houses internally to root out those who would try to bring down the political system. They are assassins. They are spies. They are inquisitors. They are the interlopers who are loyal and dedicated to supporting the 12 houses and how that political function works. And they are the ones who prevent usurpers from trying to bring down the society, and those who would try to eliminate another house to try to take over. The House of Spring, also known as like the House of Harvest and, the House of Nature, is pretty self-explanatory. This house lives or tends to be housed on the outskirts of society. They are also the function of bringing food and water and nutrients to the public. They are a very powerful house because they feed everyone, but they are also known as being the herbalists, the apothecaries, and very close to the alchemists of the world as well. And they are the trackers. They are the survivalists of this world. The House of Summer is known for two things, which might seem like they're in opposition. The House of Summer is known as the house of mental superiority, and also the house of artistic expression. They are the internalist house. They are the house that brings song and dance and a celebration of culture. They are also the house of meditation, and the house that is dedicated to mental and some physical perfection. The house of autumn is the house of crafts. They are a very large union. They are the house that they build. They are smiths. They are carpenters. They are the house of practical knowledge. They are the ones who build and shape and keep the technology of our world, of this world of the 12 houses, running in smooth order. They are the house of guilds, and very powerful, in fact, as they train each other, although because they are very powerful, they are also at odds with themselves as to which guild is the most powerful. So the House of Autumn is the one that forges weapons from the ore that is dug up from, from the House of Stone. Um, the House of Winter is the house dedicated to death rites, um, and an investigation into life and death itself. They are the healers of this world. They are the vanguard against the rising undead, and they are the ones who delve into what is the human body made of, as well as delving into the secrets of magic. And those are the 12 houses. But let's go to our third question. I mean, our second and third question: how safe is it to travel in the world, and what mystical material is valued in your world? It is very dangerous to travel the world of Roanarch. There are lots of, after the Gods Down conflict, the the laws of nature are no longer monitored by the primordials and the elder gods. So therefore, there are lots of animals and mystical creatures that roam the wild wilderness and wild lands. So therefore, it is extremely dangerous to go from city state to city state. So it requires either lots of people traveling all together at one time, or small groups being very quiet and moving stealthily through the landscape, and timing it based on seasons and other elements. It is also dangerous because the weather itself has strange permutations. And so therefore you need people who know how to predict the chaotic weather patterns, and the landscape itself is also a hazard. There is a material known as created into mage stones, and this material uh, isn't ancient in the isn't an ancient like digging for diamonds. It's more a uh, side effect of the Gods Down conflict, and this material can be harnessed and used for magic, and it is where it is a primary source of where magi are able to harness, use, and create magical effects. The stone is um, cultivated, so not only is it dug up and used, but it is coaxed into becoming its form of magic. It's not possible to pick up this material and just immediately use it. It must be energized, kind of like a phone battery. Over time, mystical energy, i.e., spell slots, must be forged into it, and then it must get used to harnessing this magic and holding it like a power battery. As a matter of fact, first level characters who are wish to cast magic through mage stones start out with a fragment of mage stone. Those who are master magical users have very large mage stones made up of very many fragments. So the fragments connect together, creating larger and larger stones. As they have apprentices, they hand off one or more stones to those below them, linking the use of the smaller portion to the larger portion, kind of like a GPS. So this is my day 13, 14, and 15. I was hoping to be able to do one video per day. I could do it, but I'm still going to try to finish out this challenge. Of course, this hashtag my 30-day challenge is in support of the already funded, double or almost triply funded, A Dead Man's Guide to Dragon Grin from Absolute Tabletop. Please check the links below. A Dead Man's Guide to Dragon Grin is a world in which evil has won, and the dismembered lord is a chrono lich stealing the days of others, including stealing the days of him or herself from across time, because the chrono lich, the dismembered lord, knows that his or her days are numbered. Okay, don't want to give too much away. Far better to go watch the videos and listen to the members of Absolute Tabletop, especially those of Tabletop Terrors, James and Tim Carney. Go ahead and patronize them, and everyone who watches my videos. Thank you very much. I absolutely have new things planned. Once this challenge is done, you will see more of me. You'll see my ugly mug pasted all over the interwebs. So thank you very much. And yes, I am wearing a Spider-Man sweatshirt, and that is like a Star Wars reference behind me, as well as Marilyn Monroe. And if you can look way in the background, that's a Wonder Woman curtain created by myself and my wife for our movie room. I may even do a little tour once it's finished. I don't know. Sounds like a good idea. Anyway, guys, thank you very much, and happy gaming.